Hey everybody, ChaoticMeatball here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge video. So today we've got a pretty special one actually. As I said last week, the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl beta was leaked and I decided, hey, why not try solo run with one of the cut Pokemon? So I took a look at the sprites of the unused Pokemon, and I was immediately attracted to this little guy. This is actually the beta version of GIBLE, and it's literally shaped like the best friend ever. So the next thing I needed to decide on was the version of the beta to use after seeing this. There's 4 versions. 2 of the earlier ones aren't finished, and they don't have beta GIBLE, so it wouldn't be smart to do that, especially since the Canalave City Gym is a soft block. So I decided to go with the June 30th beta, a little under 3 months before the game came out. So we'll see if there's a lot of stuff similar to the final game, or is there still a lot of filler and glitches. Well, we'll see, but before we get started here, I streamed this entire challenge over on my Twitch channel, so if you want to see me clearing of the next challenge, you should follow me over there. I just hit 400 followers. I also got affiliate status, so I'm looking to get partnered at some point, which requires an average of 75 viewers during your streams, so I'll need your help. Lastly, be sure to stay tuned after this video's premiere if you're here as it's going live, as there is a video I'm in on my buddy Toxicwid's channel that I'm sure you guys will enjoy. Link in the description for those watching after the premiere. Now back to the game itself. Another thing that I had to do was attempt to change my starter. I tried using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and it wasn't compatible, though it did recognize it as a Japanese version of Diamond, so I was getting somewhere. So, my other option was PK Hex. So I chose Turtwig as my starter, and then as soon as I got the chance to save, I did, exported the save, and used PK Hex to change Turtwig to GIBLE. Since this is coded in the same deck spot as our beta boy right here, importing the new save gives us a beta GIBLE. I decided to go with the nickname Gibby since it's not GIBLE, and it's a generic knockoff version, so it's the generic knockoff version Gibby. It's the same thing, right? Or it's an iCarly reference to those who were in the Twitch chat. I never watched that show. And with that though, we're off. I tried fighting the first trainer, and whoopsie, I already got KO'd. So I tried again, and I got KO'd again. Well, I guess I need to grind a wee bit. I was a bit stubborn and continued though, taking out the trainer on my 3rd try. The rest of the trainers weren't a big deal, allowing me to get to level 7, and since Gibby's base stat total is the same as GIBLE, along with basically the same moveset and TMs aside from not being able to learn Rock Climb for some reason, this means I get Dragon Rage at level 7, and this is our ticket to winning for the first few gyms of this whole challenge. Now I can just spam this and wait, what? So that text translates to the message, but it failed, which you'd see if you use Protect, Detect, Endure too many times in a row, etc. Apparently, this is because the move is bugged. It works on occasion, like when you enter a battle, and if it works 100% of the time, but if it doesn't work, I have to completely close the game and come back into it to get it to work. At least I realized that before it was time to fight Barry, who's actually Wally. Huh. Well, I guess I'm gonna call him Wallberry. He leads with Starly as I use Dragon Rage, taking it out in one shot. Shocking. I wonder if Chimchar will survive. Nope, I won. With him out of the way, I'm able to get to Orberg and find Rourke in the mine, complete sprite and all. Even his battle sprite is finished, which is kind of a relief. He leads with a level 12 Geodude, which luckily is a one-shot with Dragon Rage. Next out is Cranidos, and look at that bad boy, he actually looks pretty neat unfinished. It outspeeds and uses Leers, but I managed to get a bunch of damage off with Dragon Rage, but he decides to be an idiot and use a second Leer, so I finish it off with Dragon Rage. Last up is Onyx, who used Stealth Rock, a terrible move to use in a solo challenge, allowing me to finish the battle with Dragon Rage. With that, let's take a look at the badges, and would you look at that, I didn't do that. Well, you're just gonna have to wait a bit to see it. Back to Jubilife we go, and Team Galactic's in the way, but they're pushovers thanks to Dragon Rage still being worth it. To be fair, everything until the Galactic admin in the Valley Windworks was pretty easy in one-shots, but this battle can be rough. Also, I guess Steven's a Galactic admin. Never knew you'd stoop this low, but I didn't like you anyway. Steven leads with Zubat as I went for Dragon Rage, and I'll let you guess what that did. Next out is Perugly, going for Feint Attack and doing less than a third as I went for Dragon Rage, doing a boatload of damage and allowing its berry to activate. One more Feint Attack later, and I'm able to finish it with Dragon Rage, winning the battle. Not bad. I'm wondering if the AI in this game is finished though, since I thought it would go for Fake Out, but I'm alright with that. There's nothing too crazy different until Eterna Forest, which isn't foggy in this version, which is nice because I can actually see and it's not a pain, though Cheryl is still following along with you. I'm able to avoid every double battle here, which is great since I'm not exactly interested in double battles to waste time. With all the trainers taken out, I'm able to head into Eterna City. But I figured I'd go to the route to the north, getting interrupted by this random dude that has text next to him to get cut. Thanks, random dude. I'm sure we'll never see you again. I made sure to capture Bidoof to be an HM mule. Yes, mule. We don't say the normal word because we risk demonetization, and we don't like that. The trainers in Gardenia's gym aren't difficult either, so I made it relatively easily to her. She leads with Cherubi as I went for Dragon Rage, but we're at the point where it's not a one-shot anymore. But it didn't do any damage, so I finished it off with another one. Next out is Turtwig, which I managed to outspeed and nail a Dragon Rage, leading to it using Withdraw. We take dumb AI here, so I finished it without damage as well, leaving just Roserade. Shockingly, it's one of the few Pokemon that doesn't use Bonsly's Cry as a placeholder, outspeeding and using Grass Knot for under half. This basically confirms my win, as 2 Dragon Rages is enough to take it down, though it misses with its second attack. Not sure what it is, because I can barely understand Japanese, but it failed, so I'm cool with that, winning me the battle. Galactic building time, and there's not really much here in terms of difficulty, since somehow Dragon Rage is still one-shotting everything from the small fry trainers, so there's no problem. Gibby tried evolving at level 24 like normal though, so I cancelled the evolution and went to the next battle, and yep, the game is definitely not finished. You can definitely tell by my reaction that I had on stream that I was kind of irritated, but I came up with an idea. I decided to open back up PK Hex and devolve it, as well as making sure it was holding an Everstone. If the game isn't going to let me cancel evolutions, I'll force it myself. With that out of the way though, I made sure to fight Steven again. He realized that Perugly wasn't a good idea to keep on his team, so he decided to swap it out for Skuntank. Zubat's still nearly a one-shot with Dragon Rage, so I finished it off with a second one, leaving just Skuntank. I went for Smokescreen, and sure enough I missed after just one of them, and he used Screech afterwards, allowing me to land one, but sure enough, this thing is bulky enough to make Dragon Rage a 3-shot, going for Night Slash to finish me. I tried again, but it just took me out every time with Screech and Night Slash. So, it's grinding time. I only had to level up once to get Slash, and it ended up working out. Even though Zubat got a crit, I managed to take it down with the Dragon Rage and Slash, leading to Skuntank. I went for Night Slash first thing, so I managed to live, hitting 2 slashes as he used Smokescreen afterwards, and for some reason went for Screech. But then I missed, but then he used Screech again. I swear, we keep having these moments where the AI has an aneurysm and I win through sheer dumb luck. I guess it wouldn't be a Chaotic Meatball video without one. I made sure to get the bicycle and the Explorer kit before leaving the town, going south to Route 206 and the cycling road. There's a lot of trainers I can go around and fight before getting to dawn, giving us the VS Seeker and walking through the trees. Gotta love betas! I also cleared out the main part of Wayward Cave, but this is where I discovered a very interesting glitch. So, apparently, if you get into a double battle and your opponents have more than one Pokemon per trainer, they won't send out their last Pokemon. This terrified me immensely, because as soon as I saw it happen, I knew exactly where this run was going to get stuck. Those being in Veilstone City when we get Dawn's Pokedex back from Team Galactic, as well as the 2 double battles on Spear Pillar. I'm hoping for those to function, but after that I'm very hesitant to say that they will. With all that out of the way though, I headed into Mount Coronet to get to the other side of Sinnoh, being interrupted by a random grunt with text next to him. Weird. There's also a few trainers on this side, so after... Wait, why is there a wall here? The hell? I guess I can't go back there without getting trapped. Gotta love betas! I reset and continued forward, eventually getting to Hearthome and fighting Walberry again. I'm calling him Walberry from now on, it just makes too much sense. He leads with Starly, and by this point I have Dragon Claw, so it's an easy one-shot. Weasel's the next to feel Gibby's wrath, as does Monferno after outspeeding and hitting a 2-hit Fury Swipes, as Roselia just as well. Good stuff! But we can't challenge Fantina yet because this isn't Platinum. I really don't know why they decided to put her so much farther in Diamond and Pearl but change the order in Platinum. I guess it's a remnant of the games being unfinished as it came out, since this game's probably held together worse than Gens 2 and 3, but not as bad as 1. There's nothing crazy on the way to Veilstone other than an onslaught of trainers, but I had enough power points for the trip, eventually getting the HM in the Lost Tower before stopping into Salacion, healing, and oh fun, gotta love assertion failed errors. Imagine if this happened in the final version. We'd be so angry. It's crazy that they managed to fix most things that have been messed up so far within literally less than 3 months between this and release. It was probably an even shorter amount of time, since I'm sure it took a month or two to produce the cartridges with the final version on them. Crunch is wild. Anyway, I made the final stretch to Veilstone, arriving decently quickly. There's nothing stopping me from challenging the gym, and not gonna lie, I actually like this gym puzzle more than I do in Platinum. It's cool fitting puzzle pieces around so that you can walk through and eventually get to the gym leader. Maylene is at least complete here without any placeholders as well, and so is her team, as she leads with a level 27 Metatite, which I outspeed and nail a Dragon Claw for the one-shot. Next out is Machoke, doing a bit over half as she went for Brick Break, doing under half as I finished it, and leaving just her Lucario. It's part Steel type, so it's weak to ground, and after getting hit with a Metal Claw, I went for Dig, cutting up next turn, and finishing it off, winning the match. I'm kind of surprised I won first try. I thought Lucario was going to do a lot more damage with Metal Claw than it actually did. I finally decided to take a look at the badges afterwards, and while the badges themselves aren't different from the final release like they are in the March beta, which you can see here they are completely different and they look really weird, but here in the June beta the portraits are the only things different, showing us beta designs for both Crasher Wake and Byron. Kinda neat if we do say so myself. However, it's time for the most terrifying thing in this run. The double battle with Dawn against the Galactic Grunts, and sure enough, the game goes f***ing haywire, not even understanding the partner mechanic as an assertion failed message comes up as I try to enter the battle for the first time. So I have to take on the Grunts with my Gibby and B-Barrel, which I made sure to evolve with the EXP share so that I'd have a more versatile HM mule. Sadly though, the same error that happened while we were in the Wayward Cave struck again, though even worse this time. As the top screen kept getting completely demolished as I tried again and again. We'd have a peeking Krogunk, a peeking frickin' Butterfree, no, it was a Beautyfly. I'm not even knowing what to say anymore, my brain's just fried by how much is just wrong with this game. Oh. Fortunately, the Japanese code of the walk-through walls still works with this version of the game, so I'm able to just walk through this battle, grab Fly, and go on south towards Pastoria City. But this causes even more problems than it solved. Sure, I'm able to go into the gym and fight Crasher Wake, but you'll see what's going on afterwards. The puzzle isn't different, but there's the legend himself, a great sprite who just so happens to have a better lucha mask than what was used in the final release. It's kind of funny how the pro wrestler of Sinnoh looked even more like a pro wrestler in the beta. Oh wait, it's just Steven under the mask. Of course it is. He leads with Gyarados, intimidating me, but hey, Dragon Claw is still pretty strong. However, it's a 3-shot, so I risked it on Dragon Rush, getting a 2-shot after a single bite, landing both of them. Next out is Floatzel, hitting Brine before I nailed a Dragon Claw, doing over half as his berry activated. I would have gone for Dragon Rush, but I don't think it's going to do enough to KO, allowing him to hit 2 Swifts before I nailed 2 Dragon Claws for the KO. I'm at pretty low health as Quagsire comes out, but the AI decides to throw the match yet again, as I outspeed and hit with Dragon Claw as he went for Mud Sport. Dragon Claw barely doesn't KO on the second attack, but he uses Tail Whip, allowing me to follow up with one more Dragon Claw for the win. I am so glad I didn't have as much trouble as Madrybread had in his Platinum GIBLE challenge here, since this is one of the few battles I was legitimately afraid of. So, getting back to the game's code, I wanted to get a Tropius as my last HM mule, but the game crashes literally every time you throw a Pokeball in the Great Marsh, so I can't get it. I guess I'll have to resort to something else like Wingull. Also, I'm supposed to talk to the Galactic Grunt next to the Great Marsh to get him to run away, but he doesn't run away, and Barry doesn't appear either. This basically negates a whole set of events that would lead to me getting the secret potion to progress. So I said screw it, add another tally to the outside help column. I used PK Hex to put the secret potion in my inventory and progressed, and seeing that weird dude with the text attached to him again, allowing me to progress onward and into Celestic Town. There's nothing aside from the Cyrus encounter, filled with an amazing sprite of a grunt. Not gonna lie, I think it would have been cool if Team Galactic took the stance of everyone being equal in the creation of a new world, but I think that would have gone too far in a Pokemon story. But hey, what are you gonna do? With that though, the Hearthome City Gym is open, and I figured I'd try beating it without fighting the trainers in there first. I got decently far, getting to Gengar, but with only 4 HP left, so I was finished easily. There's actually quite a number of trainers in here, getting me from level 43 to level 46, since I had accidentally skipped over a route as well, so this should be plenty high enough. Also, Fantina's a flower girl. Neat. She leads with Driftblim as I go with Dragon Rush, one-shotting as Aftermath takes a fourth of my HP away, leading to Miss Magius. It goes for Magical Leaf, a move that can't miss, but it's easily taken out in 2 Dragon Claws, even through the Citrus Berry it had. I'm left with 48 HP going to Gengar, who for some reason went for Poison Jab, a move I resist, allowing me to KO with a single Dragon Claw. I'm sure it would have taken me out with a Shadow Claw if I'd used that instead, but hey, I'll take it. We take any sort of wins here at House Meatball. I also get the TM65 for Shadow Claw, something that I'll definitely be using in the future. With the 5th badge in tow, I'm able to progress with Surf from Jubilife City, taking a short route over to Canalave where Byron awaits. And my rival. It's good to see you again, Walberry. He leads with a Staravia, who now has Intimidate, a terrible ability for me to contend with, as we saw with Crash Awake's Gyarados, since I immediately start the battle with a handicap. Luckily, I'm 19 levels above him, so Dragon Claw was still a one-shot, though I'm sure this battle will get much harder once Staravia evolves. Second out is Heracross, who survives a Dragon Claw and manages to hit a Brick Break for about a fourth of my HP, but I still outspeed and Nail Slash for a KO. Monferno's third on his list of casualties as he went for Dragon Rush, barely missing the KO as he went for Brick Break, allowing me to finish with Slash. Probably should have went for Dig, but I forgot fighting doesn't resist ground. Weasel's next, being smart and going for Aqua Jet since it was bound to get outsped and KO'd, and sure enough it is a one-shot, leaving just Roselia. Dragon Claw's a one-shot as I outspeed and I win the match. Next up though, I have either Iron Island or the gym itself. Iron Island isn't required, so I decided to just play it by ear. If I don't win against Byron, I'll get the EXP from there and try again. Fortunately enough though, I didn't need it as I won against Byron on my second try, the first one ending thanks to paralysis. So since I'm not close to leveling up before, Maxie, I gave GIBLE a Cherry Berry for the battle. Maxie, I guess, leads with Bronzor as I outspeed and hit Dragon Claw for about a third, leading to him using Extra Sensory, a pretty weak Psychic type move. But he swaps for Steelix. Interesting tactic, but I went for Dragon Rush just in case he would, following up with a Dragon Claw as he used Gyro Ball. I knew Dig wasn't going to KO before Dragon Claw, so I just went for it this turn, giving him time to set up Sandstorm, which I can take advantage of thanks to Sand Veil, which gives me an evasion boost equivalent to 1 Double Team. Dig doesn't take it out though, allowing Steelix to hit a Dragon Breath and paralyze me, hence why the Cherry Berry came into play. Bronzor's back out after I knock it out, and doesn't stand much of a chance, going down after 2 Dragon Claws after hitting a weak Flash Cannon. Last out is Bastiodon, a Rock and Steel type, therefore being quad weak to ground, so I risked it with Dig, going first and KOing it in the one-shot next turn. I kind of expected it to hold on just because of how frickin' bulky Bastiodon can be, but I managed to win at a crisp level 49. Kind of hard to believe that I'm not even level 50 after 6 gyms in a solo challenge. It's almost as if I'm using a pseudo-legendary or something. After leaving, I'm made aware that the scene in the library as the bomb goes off at Lake Valor still works as intended, which is nice, because we haven't seen that many events work as intended. But that means I have to go take care of the events at all 3 lakes. Lake Valor is up first, and for some reason Azelf is here. I thought it was captured. I decided to not interact with it just in case it crashed my game until after I beat the admin, that being a placeholder for Saturn. Oh wait, it's just Steven again. I guess he's the only admin for Team Galactic and has 3 different teams. He leads with Kadabra, not really that threatening other than outspeeding and pulling off a Psychic, doing over half damage as I one-shot with Slash, leading to Bronzor. Dragon Claw doesn't even do half as it went for Shadow Ball, barely doing anything, so I managed to finish it off in 2 more Dragon Claws as it hit another weak move in Gyro Ball. Last out is Toxicroak, so I went for Dig, getting hit with Feint Attack and unfortunately going down. Well, I'm not close to leveling in this battle, so I just gave Gibby a Citrus Berry and did the battle again, avoiding Psychic since Kadabra decided to go for Embargo in a no items in battle challenge. Very wise decision, I'm sure it'll pay off. He's easy to take down because of this, since Toxicroak can't do enough damage to put me down without Psychic. And sure enough, they leave, and Azelf is interactable, and at level 30 as well. I guess they intended on you being able to capture it for your team now? Huh. That's an interesting thing. How the heck would Team Galactic get a hold of Dialga or Palkia without all 3 of them? I'm better off not looking too far into it, it's probably just unfinished. There's actually quite a few things I can do now optionally before trekking to Snow Point, one of which is going into the additional part of Orbert Gate and taking out the surf routes south of Sandgem down and near Pal Park. which seems to be here and functional in the beta, as I used walkthrough walls to go into it just for the sake of seeing if it worked. I saved before doing it, so no harm done, but it's good to see that it's at least functional in this stage of development. Next optional area is the Fuego Ironworks, and this is because Gibby here can learn the TM for flamethrower, something that'll be extremely useful when I go against the occasional bronze ore, and specifically against Candace. Last optional place I decided to hit up was Iron Island, taking out as many trainers as possible without partnering up with Riley, since Lord knows that this game is going to go haywire if I get into any more double battles, and since there's a forced one with Team Galactic runs at the end if I do, I need to stay away. Speaking of Galactic, I took care of the admin battle over in Lake Verity, where Steven starts with Golbat, an easy one-shot with Dragonclaw. Next out is Perugly, outspeeding with both Fake Out and Hypnosis, but I made sure to put a Chesto Berry after my first failed attempt with Gibby, managing to hit a massive Dragonclaw for the near KO, popping Perugly's Citrus Berry as it went for Feint Attack. Dragonclaw takes it out, leaving just Bronzor. I also decided to be smart for this battle, having replaced Dragon Rush with Shadow Claw, a TM I got from Fantina, using it to 3-shot Bronzor. Honestly, I probably should have just put Thunderbolt on there instead of Shadow Claw, but I thought it was going to do more damage due to how much higher my physical attack stat is compared to my special attack. Especially since Gibby has the adamant nature, so its special attack is lowered even more in comparison to its physical attack. I'll probably end up replacing it with Flamethrower before Candace though, because of course I'll be using it. For now though, I'll be messing with the game and seeing how Dawn's sprite goes whack as I get on and off the bike. Gotta love protagonist characters sharing some of the same code in the beta. Route 216 and 217 aren't that much of a big deal, allowing me to grab the HM for Rock Climb before running in front of a Lake Acuity and realizing, hey, hold up, why are the Galactic grunts not staying in front of the place and just moving? Barry and Jupiter aren't even here, so they're not even placeholders here, so are the events just not working? Huh. Wonder how that's gonna do when I get into Spear Pillar and that whole thing's done. Once I arrived in Snow Point, I finally realized what's been bugging me. The biggest pet peeve I have here is that I can't run, even in the really shallow snow, and it kinda sucks. Also, in the 7th gym, the puzzle is a bit different here in the beta, and I had a hard time figuring it out because it was different and I didn't have a video guide to figure it out. But it actually made it fun because I didn't have any reference and I had to figure it out with me and just the chat. And wouldn't you know, Candace actually has a finished sprite. Very exciting. But let's see if it's a finished team now, shall we? She leads with an abomination of a Snover, as since I put Flamethrower on Gibby to replace Shadow Claw, it's a one-shot, leading to Sneasel. Sneasel outspeeds and hits Feint Attack rather than an Ice-type move, allowing me to one-shot it with Dragon Claw, since even though Flamethrower is super effective, my special attack is nowhere near my physical attack, especially with an adamant nature. Next out is Medicham, and for some reason it goes for Bulk Up, since I went for Dragon Claw as the hail kept coming down. I figured I'd go down to any attack at this point, but she went for Bulk Up again, allowing me to KO with another Dragon Claw. Holy moly, this is the attempt. Last out is Abomasnow, and with an albeit cool sprite now that it's grown on me, it goes down to one Flamethrower thanks to Quad Weakness, winning me the battle. And you want to know how many attempts that one took? Actually, it only took 4 before Medicham decided to go for Bulk Ups, since before it was just going for Ice Punch, or Sneasel would go for Ice Shard. Either way, it was a rip run for those battles. With that win, it's time to storm the Galactic headquarters in Veilstone. Of course, the grunt that would normally give me the keycard to access the parts that I need to isn't appearing. Whoop-de-doo betas, so I had to use the good old power of walk through walls to get where I needed to go, digging up the trainers and eventually leading myself to the placeholder of Cyrus. His team is really trash, with no fully evolved Pokemon, so I'm able to one-shot his Murkrow, two-shot his Sneasel, and one-shot Golbat, all with Dragon Claw, leading me to Saturn's placeholder. He's at least a little bit more threatening thanks to having a Kadabra and Toxicroak, but this battle's just simple as well, as Kadabra outspeeds and wastes its turn with Embargo, and so I knock it out with Slash. Bronzor's easy thanks to having Flamethrower now, and Toxicroak is a two-shot with Dragon Claw and definitely would have been a one-shot with Dig if I had been thinking. Also, I guess that since I left Azelf knocked out in the Lake Valor Cave, they snuck in after me and picked it up since they still needed it. Should have got it so I could have screwed them over and not have to do this whole thing, but oh well. With that though, I'm able to head over into Mount Coronet and eventually into Spear Pillar, which was functioning perfectly normally, right up to the moment I expected it not to. aka the double battle right before the two admins, made it impossible to progress, and with walk-through walls, the double battle with the placeholders for Mars and Jupiter just wouldn't happen either, so yeah. And walking behind them shows us the placeholder for Cyrus, and that Dialga was already summoned. So yeah, I think we're kind of stuck. Alright, one more time though, for old time's sake. With our totally legitimate passage through the Spear Pillar event, I'm able to get my bum to Route 222 and on over to Sunyshore City, where we have some random person walk up to me with the number 3 next to his head. I wonder what that could mean. The version of Sunyshore also has a slightly different bridge here in the beta. Kinda neat, but not that big of a deal. But the gym itself, not different. Volkner starts with a Raichu, so I went with Dig, one-shotting it and leading to his Octillery. Okay, someone please inform me as to why he has a freaking Octillery. Whatever, it's a 2-shot leading to Luxray. I used Dig again, managing to go first and one-shotting it just as well, leaving just Ambipom. Yeah, Volkner's lineup in Diamond and Pearl is weird. If only he could get some Gen 4 electric types like Pachirisu, or better yet, Electivire. Gotta love how the Gen 4 Dex isn't completely the Gen 4 Dex in Diamond and Pearl. Ambipom is an easy KO with Dragon Claw and Slash, giving me my final gym badge and leaving just the trek to the Pokemon League. The Victory Road isn't that different, just with a bunch of trainers that are easily wiped off the face of the region, leaving just me and the league itself. And Walberry. I actually got whipped by him quite a few times, so I decided to do a bit of grinding since we are nowhere near the level we need to be to take on the league itself, so we may as well. I got Gibby to level 75, which ended up being enough of a jump in levels to get me over the hurdle of Walberry, along with a Citrus Berry as my held item. He leads with Staraptor, still having Intimidate, so my attack is lowered. I'm able to outspeed though and hit Dragon Claw, doing over half as he went for Steel Wing, which is arguably the best move I could have gotten from him, leaving it in the ground with another Dragon Claw. Next out is Buizel, whom I think is supposed to be a Floatzel by now, and it's a one-shot. Third out is everyone's favorite Heracross, missing with Mega Horn and allowing me to KO with 2 flamethrowers. Snorlax is out next, and it's actually not that big of a problem, as Dragon Claw's a 2-shot, but it does land a massive Earthquake. Oh wait, that barely did anything. I really expected this thing to do a lot more damage, but hey, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. Infernape's out next, going for Aerial Ace as I went for Dig, KOing in one shot and leaving just his Roserade. I'm over 30 levels higher, so even at -1 attack, I'm able to one-shot it with Dragon Claw, winning me the match and leaving just 5 battles between me and the end of the challenge. I tried going in at level 75 to see what could be possible, and unfortunately I just got destroyed by Aaron's placeholder numerous times. I guess I need to do some grinding. I grinded up to level 79, grabbed Earthquake from the Wayward Cave, and grabbed the Earth Plate to boost Ground-type moves. Unfortunately, there's nothing to boost Dragon-type moves in the beta, since the Draco Plate is not where it normally is in Eterna City. Otherwise, I would have grabbed it when we were there. I know MDB was also at level 100 for this part in Platinum, and in Platinum, the Elite Four is a lot lower level. So I'm going to see if I can get through this without maxing out my level. After about 5 attempts, I managed to take out Aaron, who leads with Dustox. Earthquake is a one-shot on it as well as Drapion, leading to Heracross. This thing has one-shot me from full HP with Mega Horn, so all I needed to do is use a different attack. It chose Stone Edge, the weakest attack it could have chosen, so yay, it's a one-shot with Dragon Claw since I got a crit leading to Vespiquen. And yes, this thing looks absolutely hideous. I went for Dragon Claw, doing massive damage, though it manages to do massive damage to me with Attack Order, shockingly doing a lot, but a second Dragon Claw is easy enough. Last out is Beautyfly, and it's a really weak Pokemon, so Dragon Claw's an easy one-shot, winning me the fight. Oh yeah, they're all Steven. I guess he's got a teleporter or something to get him back and forth to beat literally everyone in Sinnoh. For some reason there was an assertion failed message on my way to Bertha's room, but it really didn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things since I was still able to challenge Steven. Steven leads with Quagsire, which is a pretty bulky, so I can't KO with a single Earthquake, allowing her to get a Sand attack off before going for Dig. I missed once, but I managed to KO it while underground with Earthquake, preventing any damage to me. Next out is Sudowoodo, which is a one-shot with Earthquake, as is Golem, leaving her 4th Pokemon Hippowdon, and man, take a look at that sprite, that's just great stuff right there. It sets up Sandstorm with its ability, so I'm able to take advantage of it again with Sandveil, KOing with 2 Earthquakes even through its Citrus Berry, though I did miss once. Last out is Whiscash, and since I didn't want to miss with Earthquake, I just went for Dragon Claw, KOing with 2 of them as she landed Rock Slide, barely doing any damage and giving me the win. 2 down, 3 to go, and we're barely in the level 80s. Flint's team is quite easy for me to take down since Rapidash just sets up Sunny Day, so I'm able to one-shot it with Earthquake as well as Infernape. This leaves him with 0 other fire types. Gotta love the DP decks! Lopunny is barely not a one-shot, literally missing 1 HP, but it misses its attack, but manages to outspeed next turn and hit Fire Punch before I finished it with Return, having replaced it with Slash. 4th out is Steelix, and oh hey look, that's Earthquake, it's a one-shot. Last out is Drifblim, and since it's a 2-shot with Dragon Claw, it goes down, but it has Aftermath, taking me out as I KO'd it. But since I had my HM mules in the party, I still won because I didn't have all of my Pokemon defeated. Oh well, I can use items outside of battle, I'm not doing it again. The last Elite Four member is Lucian, and oh my lord, I could not beat him at all. It took so many attempts, until the point where I got rid of Return and replaced it with Swagger. This is because of one Pokemon, Bronzong. It is a frickin' wall. Since it has Levitate, so it's immune to Earthquake, it resists Dragon Claw, and Flamethrower does way too little, especially if Mr. Mime manages to get off Light Screen. However, after about 60 attempts, I finally won. Lord have mercy. Finally. Mr. Mime is a one-shot with Earthquake. Medicham is a 2-shot with Earthquake and Dragon Claw, barely doing anything with Fire Punch, though it had Ice Punch, leading to the big bad Bronzong. I use Swagger and Flamethrower, only allowing it to do Tomb Calm Mines before going down thanks to hitting itself and Flamethrower. 4th out is Girafarig, nailing a Crunch before I KO'd with Dragon Claw, leaving just Alakazam, which I outspeed and KO with Earthquake, winning the match. I think Alakazam was a speed tie since that was the first time I actually went first, so that was quite useful, though I'm sure I would have survived an attack at as high of health that I was at the end. So if I got this far, I should be able to beat Cynthia, right? Well, almost. I tried at least 100 times, seriously, and I just couldn't win. Though I got 1 attempt to her final Pokemon, 1 attempt, only to be KO'd by Roserade. Spiritomb was an easy KO thanks to it using Embargo. Milotic was easy enough to KO thanks to Swagger and Earthquake, but Lucario would always do massive damage unless it used Psychic, which was decently rare. However, if I got past Lucario, since it was an easy one-shot with Earthquake, I'd get to her Garchomp. By the way, really cool design, love this thing. Usually I'd go down since it would go for Earthquake, but the rare time it would go for Brick Break and I'd survive, and the even rarer time that it uses Dragon Rush, and the super double rare time that it would miss, I would be able to 2-shot it, leading to Shellos. Yeah, not Gastrodon, Shellos. It's a one-shot with Earthquake due to not being fully evolved, probably just a coding oversight, leaving just Roserade. It goes for extra sensory, outspeeding, which I thought it wasn't going to finish me off, but it unfortunately did. Somehow, I have no clue, but it was very demoralizing. So I went back to the drawing board, grinding to level 86, and taking out the Elite Four again, this time with a lot less irritation. Even Lucian wasn't bad at this level, since I had a bit more attack power to make Mr. Mime a one-shot rather than a range with Earthquake, and Medicham became a range, though most of the time a 2-shot. Either way, I made it back to Cynthia's placeholder for the final battle, finally victorious after only about 5 attempts or so. She leads with Spiritomb, which is a one-shot with Earthquake, now not a range unlike when I was at level 81. Milotic is out next, so I went for Swagger, confusing and allowing her to hit herself, doing about 1/8 of her HP, so I followed up with Earthquake, KOing and leading to Lucario with full HP on my part. It did literally the best thing I could get it to do, that being Psychic, allowing me to KO with yet another Earthquake. 4th out is Garchomp, which misses with Dragon Rush, so I'm able to follow up with Dragon Claw, barely missing the KO as she heals a bit with a Citrus Berry, since I guess the trainers aren't coded to use their healing items, which is nice I guess in a challenge that's no items in battle. So I went for another one as she went for Giga Impact, making me down to literally 15 HP before going down herself. Next out is Shellos, yet again being a one-shot with Earthquake, leaving just Roserade. And luckily, with the levels that I've gained, I am able to outspeed, hitting one more Earthquake for the KO and the win. We've become the champion at level 88. Shocking, I really didn't expect to be lower than level 95. Though, since Gibby was holding the Earthquake for the fight, it tried evolving again, leading to Beta Gabite being in the Hall of Fame instead of Gibby, but I did the battle with Gibby, so I'll take it. Again, a beta's a beta, normally it would have been prevented, so I don't see a problem with it. But with that, we successfully won the challenge, and if we're being honest, I don't think it would have mattered if Shellos was actually Gastrodon, since I think it would have still been a one-shot with Earthquake, but it was still a fun fight nonetheless. Either way, next week we'll be returning to the final release of Pokemon Diamond, as it's time for another Professor Oak's challenge, and we'll be finishing off Gen 4 since I've already done Platinum and Heart Gold Soul Silver. See you guys then. Thank you guys for some... Yeah, I can't do end cards today. Thank you guys for watching the video. Again, like I said at the beginning, if you guys want to see me stream challenges, I'll be doing that over on twitch.tv/ChaoticMeatballTV, link in the description to that, Twitter, and Patreon. Right now I'm actually streaming the Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 Professor Oak's challenge, which is one of the hardest ones next to Heart Gold Soul Silver, so I hope you guys are looking out for that. Oh yeah, I should probably note that if you subscribe to the channel, you get access to videos a day early like YouTube members and Patreon supporters do, as well as a role on Discord. Link also in the description. Am I forgetting anything? I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.